All right, class. First off, as always, good day. I'm glad you're here. So today we're going to be talking about a couple of the markets. We're going to be three markets we're going to be looking at over the next couple of days, but we're going to look at two of them today. Okay. But first, let's start off with your warm-up picture. The first picture tells you to analyze this picture. What's going on? Okay. Look at it. Tell me what's going on. The second question asks you, of the three options available, which one do you feel you would do? Okay, so obviously you see a big old wave coming. So option A, run away, flee, try to book it, go as fast as you can. Option B is stand still and get swept away to the sea. That thing's right there, right at you. It's like, you know what, just do it, whatever, I don't care. you know. Or C, hey, try to learn how to surf real quick. You know, which one do you feel you personally would do? You had those three options. Which one would you do? Run away, stand still and take it, or hey, learn how to survive, whatever that may be in that situation. Okay. Um, Write your response. Pause the video. Okay, because we're moving on in three, two, one. All right, so today we're going to look at economics in the sense of governments. Okay, now in two governments, economics is the organized way of providing for the wants and needs of their people. Okay, does every government focus on the wants and needs of the people? Not always, and this is what we're going to be learning about today. There are three major types of economics. There's the traditional, the command, and the market. Today, we're going to be looking at traditional and command. The next lesson will be on the market. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive right in to traditional. Now, that term alone should give you an idea of what traditional economy is. It comes from ritual, habits, and or customs. Tradition, something you do every time, all the time. So think of like holidays. What holidays does your family always get together? What events throughout the year does your family always get together? You know, excuse me. So think about holidays, stuff like that. What do you guys typically eat that holiday? What usually happens that holiday? Things like that. That's tradition where, hey, this happens. This is the way we usually do it. This is how it goes. Um, Usually, when tradition happens, there's not a lot of free decisions being made. Usually, typically on Thanksgiving, people have turkey, ham, things like that. You don't hear anyone go, you know what, let's have hot dogs for Thanksgiving. I'm like, what? Hot dogs? What? Huh? It's kind of like one of those things that just doesn't sound good, doesn't make sense, but it's, hey, it's a free thinking thing. Hey, let's put hot dogs on there. It's kind of, no, you don't do that. No. Okay. We're going to get to this a little bit later. And the roles defined by the elders, the people who've experienced it before. They know this is how things go. Now, I know I mentioned holidays and some of that. It's easier to make the connection when you associate it with holidays because you guys experience holidays with your families and stuff like that. So, but we're going to look at it from economic point of view, okay? So, what this basically means is like everyone knows what role they play, okay? Let's say a baker. Let's say that a baker knows what their job is. They know how to make the tier cakes. They know how to do the frosting, stuff like that, right? They know what to produce. They know what they need to make their cakes and their frosting and things like that. They don't need to know about, you know, um, the temperature to make French fries. No, because that's not their specialty. That's not their thing. Their things is cakes. They know how much cakes to make during certain times of the year. People have birthdays and weddings and quinceañeras, graduations, things like that. So they know around this time we need a lot of cakes for this. During this time, we need a lot of cakes for this. This time, maybe not so much, you know. So they know how to make the stuff. They know how much of it they should be making for the particular season, and also it dictates their lives. You know, when you do the same thing over and over and over and over again, you are basically set in stone. And it's kind of like, well, you know what's going on. You know what tomorrow brings. You know what the next week brings. So there's nothing really that's gonna jump out and surprise you. Okay, because it's the same thing over and over again. So that's the good things about a traditional economy. The bad things is this. Again, um, no new ideas. So let's say you're doing a bakery thing and you decide, you know what, instead of making cakes, let's make, donuts. They're like, what? No, no. We don't have a fryer. We make cakes. So what no. We can't do that. The frosting on a cake is so much different than the frosting you put on donuts. It's not really the same. Like glaze and things like that. You that's the texture and some of that, the stuff made for that is different from donuts. So no new ideas are not welcomed, really. And if you do suggest something new, you're kind of looked at like, what's wrong with you? You know, um, I give this example all the time, but a student told me today in class that their family does this, which I thought was surprising. I have never heard of a family or people going, so and so is dead. Let's have a cake. You don't see a bakery have funeral cakes. Make it black and things like that. Thank God Ted is dead. No, you don't see that. If someone suggested that at a bakery, they'd be kind of looked at like, what? Are you serious? No, no, that's no, no. Birthdays, graduations, weddings, stuff like that. Yeah, but no, no. What's funerals? Are you kidding me? No. So that's another thing that's considered bad. The other thing is it leads to lower standards of living. You kind of, do the same thing over and over and over and over. You're gonna kind of fall into that routine, and you might get, like, I hate to use the word, but you might get bored of it. And you're like, geez, my life has flown away. I did nothing with my life, and oh my gosh, I just did the same thing over and over again. Never experienced anything else the world could provide. That's the thing. Okay. So here is your first question. Based off what you learned, do you think traditional economy is a good thing for our country? Do you think we would survive? Do you think we'd be okay if that happened? Traditional again, same thing over and over and over and over again. Um, like someone mentioned in the class, sometimes it's best to be like this instead of doing like up here and then down, down, and then also back up here a little bit, and then here, then down. And so, what do you think? Do you think it'd be better off to have a traditional thing where everything's always even keel the whole time? What do you think? All right. So pause the video, write your response. We're moving on in three, two, one. All right, so the next one is the command economy. This is where the needs, goals, and production quota for major industry is set by the government, not by individuals, not by tradition, but the government. Money can be shifted from consumer goods to national defense like that, no time flat. Okay? So, the pros to having a command economy where the government basically controls everything. One thing is, again, they can shift resources from one place to another. So let's say a school needs to be made, right? They can build that school like that instantaneously. We're sorry, we're going to need this wood and steel and stuff like that to make this school. We don't really need the shopping center right now. We need the school first, so they can get those resources to that school to build it, in no time flat. Um, the other good thing about the command economy is that everyone has a job. Everyone has a job. Excuse me. So this is one of those people saying, hey, everyone has a job. No one's just sitting around doing nothing. So that's good. Right. So you're either working in agriculture, the factories, industry, or government. Okay. So, but either way, everyone's working. Okay. The other thing is that the health and public services are available to everyone at little to no cost. So let's say you're like, oh my God, my chest hurts. Oh, I can't breathe that well. You can go to any hospital, any clinic, urgent care, wherever, go see your doctor or see a doctor, and your bill might be $10, $50, or nothing at all. You know, the government pays for it all. They take care of that. So you can be checked up on and you can get your health looked at, you know. So we looked at the good, now let's look at the bad. The bad things is this system of government of economics, it's not designed to meet the needs of the people, the consumers. So like I was saying about the shopping center, let's say people wanted places to shop, different places to shop. Well, sorry, it's not being built because that wood and steel and all that stuff needs to go over here so we can build this school and then this other building and this factory instead of those stores. You know, the other thing is workers are not given the incentive to work hard. So I give you the example, like let's say the whole class, everyone was working really hard, giving their best, stuff like that, and I just kick back, relax, and don't pull my weight. But yet you find out that we get paid the same. Are you going to the next time start working really hard from beginning to end, or are you going to be like, I'm going to kick back, relax, because you know this guy does it, so I'm going to do it too. We're both getting paid the same, and that's what happens usually. The next thing, large decisions are made by the bureaucracy, the top people. They decide in the government. They decide, should we build that school, this factory, this or that. They take care of those big decisions, what to make, where, things like that. Oh, excuse me. The thing that, on the bad side too, what they don't do is they're not really good at the small, minor problems that come up day to day. So let's say they're building the school, and all of a sudden it starts raining, right? They that's a like a day thing. They don't know like, oh, what do we do now? We can't keep building this building. So what do we do with our workers? Do we send them home? Do we have them do other things? Do we have them check on inventory? Do we have them go to somewhere to do things? I mean, what do we do with them? Those little minor day-to-day things, they're not really good at. Okay, they're more better at this needs to get done here, things like that. How it gets built every day, what's the progress? They're not really good at that. The other thing is, which is pretty sad, is people with new, unique ideas, inventions, creations, they don't get ahead. In this country, if you create something that makes people's lives better, you are going to get rewarded with something, money. You're going to be working for some company that will buy your idea and sell it and, things like that. And you make money off of that. In that type of government economy, you do not get anything. You get well, that was your job anyway, so good job. Now try to figure out something else. You could find a cure for cancer, and they'd be like, here's a paper saying good job. You know, yeah, you did your job. So now find a cure for the cold or whatever. Okay. So rewards are very rare and they're hardly ever given. And the people who discover new things, they're not really given the full credit they deserve. The incentives and things like that. So here's your second question. Of the two economies we talked about, traditional and command, which one of those two do you feel is better? Traditional, again, the same thing all the time, over and over again, or command, where the government basically controls everything and you have no say so in a lot of things. Which one do you feel is better and why? Why do you feel that one is better? Justify it. Okay. So write your response. Okay. Because we're moving on in three, two, one. All right. So the last thing you're going to be doing in this class is you should have gotten this paper. It looks like this. Okay. It's the Venn diagram. You guys are going to put in one circle traditional and the other circle command, and you're basically going to tell me what do they have in common, what do they have that's different. Okay, you should have 5 different things and 2 things that they have that are similar and common. Okay, so one of the things they have in common, I'll help you out with this, is in the middle part. They both the people have no little to no choices, right? And a traditional economy and a command economy, the people don't really have choices in things. Okay, so that should be in the section in the middle where the 2 circles cross each other. There you should have that. Okay, if you did not get that paper for whatever reason, whether I forgot to give you it, or it slipped out, or it's lost, create your own on a sheet of paper. It's 2 circles that intersect. The section in the middle where they both cross together, that is the common thing between the two, and the other parts is what that's different. Okay, so again, you should have five things that they have different from one another and 2 things that they have in common. Okay, I just gave you one, so you should only be able to get one more thing. Okay, so when you guys turn in your work, be sure you turn in that paper as well. Um, so that's it for this lesson. Hopefully you learned something new. Hopefully you enjoyed this lesson and you got something out of it. Okay, you guys, you take care, you be safe, and I'll see you later. All right.